Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Just have a few slides to go through just to briefly recap the rules that we're looking for input on here today. So I'm going to get right into it. Today's presentation is going to talk about the objective for implementation of I-502, the timeline we're working with, and as I mentioned before, some proposed rule highlights. The LCB rulemaking objective was to create a tightly controlled and regulated marijuana marketplace. That was what the initiative 502 required us to do, and one of the reasons that the authors of 502 modeled the initiative after the existing liquor laws. We were to include strict controls to prevent diversion, illegal sales, and sales to minors, and to provide reasonable access to product to mitigate the illicit marketplace. That was another charge in 502 to the liquor board, was do what we could to remove activities in the illicit marketplace. The LCB's role and responsibilities were to ensure public safety is the top priority. If you look at our website, our mission is public safety. That's the mission of the agency, whether it's cannabis, liquor, or tobacco. The initiative created a three-tier regulatory system for marijuana. Mirrored the three-tier system of alcohol, created licenses for producers, processors, and retailers. We are responsible for enforcing the laws and rules pertaining to licensees and the collection and distribution of taxes relating to cannabis. Our timeline for I-502, as you can see up there, August 6th through 8th, we're taking public hearings on the proposed rules right now. If there are no changes to the proposed rules, on August 14th, the rules will be adopted. 1 month following that, or actually September 16th, the rules will become effective. And on that date, we would begin accepting applications for all three license types. There will be a 30-day window open for people to submit applications. And on December 1st, as mandated by law, the rules are to be completed and in place. Based on this timeline, it will be well before that. And in December or January, we'll actually be issuing the licenses from the applications we will be receiving during that 30-day window. As I mentioned, 30-day window, we'll open up the registrations for all three license types at the same time. We may extend the time or reopen application another window at our discretion, depending on how many applications were received during that first 30 days. Colorado used the same method when they opened up their regulated medicinal marijuana process. Approximately, for your information, approximately 50% of those submitting applications in Colorado during their window failed in the first 18 months in business. There is a state residency requirement. It requires a 3-month residency within the state of Washington, and it applies to all license types. That is written into the initiative. That is not something the LCB created or can change. Background checks. We will do personal criminal history background checks, and you face a possibility of a license forfeiture if they are not correct. Fingerprinting is required for all potential licensees, and we'll use both the State Patrol and the FBI background checks based on the fingerprints we receive. There's a point system for people that have had prior arrests or convictions. You can see those in the rules. I won't go through them. Non-disclosure of arrest, regardless of conviction, will result in point accumulation. If you accumulate enough points, you will not receive a license. Cost and fees, there was a $250 application fee to submit for a license. There was a $1,000 annual renewal fee on all license types, and additional fees for background check and, of course, filing for whatever local business licenses you will have to do business wherever you're located, and, of course, meet the local zoning requirements. Taxes, the license applicants must submit a signed attestation that they are current on all taxes owed to Washington State Department of Revenue. That'll be part of your licensing process. The producer structure. Draft rules allow for producer operations in secure indoor and outdoor grow, as well as greenhouses. There's a requirement for a traceability system you'll have to tie into that the board will have. It's a robust software package that will trace all plants from seed or clone to sale. And LCB enforcement can match records from your enforcement to what you actually have on hand. Rules allow us entry into your facilities at all times to do audits or checks. As I mentioned before, on the background checks, personal history form has to be completed. We will do fingerprints. In the point system, security and safeguards, alarm and surveillance, video camera requirements are included in the rules. You can read those. It includes minimum pixels and the lockbox encasement. We have to provide that the recorder is safe and secure. Strict transportation and record keeping requirements. The Initiative 502 did not allow for a third-party transport of products, so it has to be the processor or the producer transporting product to the retailer. And hours of operation are limited from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. That's for the retail side. Violation guidelines. There's a $1,000 administrative penalty for minors frequenting any of the locations. There's a set strict system of violation recorded over a 3-year period. This is considered a Group 1 public safety violation. First violation is a 10-day suspension or $2,500. Second violation is a 30-day suspension, and third violation is license cancellation. On the retailers, it will be monetary. On producers, it will be loss of plants. Furnishing marijuana to a minor remains a felony offense and will be prosecuted as a felony offense. Child resistance packaging is required. Those are listed in the rules. You can see what those requirements are. And it's required for marijuana and marijuana-infused products sold in solid and liquid forms. Advertising restrictions, the same 1,000-foot requirement as far as where you can locate your business applies to advertising also. And all those areas such as parks and recreation centers all have to be, advertising has to be 1,000 feet from that. The advertising may not contain statements or illustrations that are false or misleading, and nothing that would appeal to children. All advertising of any kind for marijuana or marijuana-infused products must contain the statement, "This product has intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming." Location restrictions of retail stores. We are to provide advance notice to local authority where a store will be located. And per I-502, we are to determine the number of retail outlets based on county. So we will have a county by county accounting for stores based on population and usage. And we have gathered information from a consultant. We had hired Botec Consulting, and they've determined the county consumption levels for us, and we will base retail outlets on that information. Consumer safety, strict packaging and labeling requirements. We're limiting serving sizes and concentrations per package. We have lot numbers, warning labels, net weight, concentration of THC, and usage warnings, specifically warning for the delayed effect of cannabis in food or drinks where you ingest. Lab tested and approved. All product has to go through an independent third-party accredited lab. Established and uniform testing standards are being put in place that these labs will be tested again so that we can come up with a list of labs that you can use. No minors are allowed in stores, and required product and usage signs are within stores. There are requirements of what retailers have to have in place as far as warnings to consumers. All product will be stored behind the counter, and there will be no open containers allowed within retail organizations. Defined serving sizes on marijuana-infused products is 10 milligrams of THC per serving and 100 milligrams of THC per product sold. There is on that sheet there, where you can find on our website, liq.wa.gov, there's a 502 link on there where you can get all the rules, fact sheets, FAQs, and access to our listserv. If you're not on our listserv, I encourage you to sign up for it. It gives you notifications of everything going on. I thank you for your time. That was short and sweet.